Bonjour everyone. Thank you for joining our training presentation today. My name is Laura and I represent Quebec here in the UK. So today I'll just be giving you an insight into Quebec and touching on some of our regions and give you an idea of what to see and do. So just a little bit about Quebec for those of you that don't know. So Quebec is a province in the east of Canada, which you can see highlighted in white. So Quebec is the country's largest province in terms of territory, and we have a large playground of wilderness, parks, lakes and rivers as well. So we are also strategically located. So Montreal is only a 5-hour drive to either Toronto or Boston and only a 6-hour drive from downtown New York City. So again, Quebec is the area highlighted in white on this map. So Quebec is the largest of Canada's 10 provinces, and we have an area with over 1.6 million square kilometres. So Quebec is also only second to Ontario with the highest population. Our capital city is Quebec City, and it's the oldest in Canada too. So Quebec City is also recognised by UNESCO as a World Heritage City, and other major cities of ours include Montreal, which is the biggest city in Quebec, with a population of over 4 million, and Gatineau in Outaouais as well. So Quebec itself is made up of over 20 regions, and this map shows you where they are. So starting from the left, you have Ontario in the grey area that borders Outaouais, and the capital city of Ontario is Ottawa, and it's just walking distance to Gatineau. So it's very easy for clients interested in discovering both provinces. So from Outaouais, we have more of our vibrant cities such as Montreal and Quebec City. And then following the St. Lawrence River, we have amazing vast landscapes where you can go from city to countryside in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, Charlevoix to Côte-Nord as well, which you can see just along the map. And then at the very top of Quebec, we have Nunavut, which is actually just off our map here because Quebec is so big. But Nunavut is our most northern region of Quebec as well. So on the TTG Canada Fest platform as well, we have also just launched our virtual fan masterclass, which you can find and you can rewatch to see a 10-minute, 12-day itinerary all around Quebec. So the fan begins with Maurice, and then we move to Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, to Tadoussac, Charlevoix, before finishing in Quebec City. So please make sure you do have a look at that. So why Quebec? So from here, I'm just going to show you some of our unique selling points, I suppose. So these are 3 key pillars, which is what we feel make us feel so unique. So firstly, we have a culture that creates. So we have a unique culture unlike any other in North America. We have a culture that's proud of its particular and distinctive character. Our unique culture goes beyond arts and music, and it's also the way we do things. It's the way we think, essentially. Secondly, we have our warm welcome. So Quebecers are really friendly people that greet travellers like long lost friends. So our welcome is one that is open, it's inclusive and it's authentic. We are also generous by nature and we want to make sure that our guests have a great time. Thirdly, we have a connection to the land. So with Arctic islands to the north and the St. Lawrence River to the south, we are surrounded by vast wilderness along with numerous lakes and rivers. And what makes our nature so attractive is the ability to be immersed within it. So you can be hiking in a forest, you can be canoeing on a lake, or you can rent a bicycle and ride for hours and hours too. So what to experience in Quebec? So here are just some of our unique experiences, 6 of those that we feel make us special. So we have our vibrant cities and we have our festivities. So this is excitement all year long. We also have our culture and our living history, which is rich and varied and it's everywhere. We also have our great outdoors as well, which is nothing short of spectacular. Then we have our local flavours. The local cuisine is varied and simply delicious. And then we have the St. Lawrence River, which is a majestic river that literally turns into the sea. And then we have our winter fun. So visiting Quebec in the winter is a whole new experience in itself. Oh, gone too far. Here we go. So we have our vibrant cities and festivities. So just like our inhabitants, Quebec cities are really friendly, they're lively, and they welcome visitors to join in the fun all year long. So many of our bustling neighbourhoods showcase the history, architecture, and festivities which form Quebec's unique culture, heritage, day and night. So if we just start with Outaouais, which is one of our regions, here we go. Outaouais is our region which is closest to our neighbours Ontario, and it makes for a great crossroads between several iconic cities of the country, including Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City. Outaouais is just a 5-hour drive from Toronto, a 2-hour drive from Montreal, and only a 5 minutes drive from Ottawa. So Outaouais is also well connected on the Via Rail, which is a train line that runs from Western Canada through to the east, all the way to Toronto and through to Outaouais, Montreal, and then Quebec City. So the Outaouais region includes the city of Gatineau, which is the fourth largest city in Quebec. So in Gatineau, we have the very popular Canadian Museum of History, which is located just by the river and is home to 15,000 years of human history. In Outaouais as well, we have Collines de Outaouais, which is closer to Gatineau City, and outdoor enthusiasts can enjoy the very famous Gatineau Park. It's the ultimate destination for a variety of activities, and then kick back and relax in the picturesque villages of Chelsea and Wakefield. And Chelsea and Wakefield are very well known for their quaint villages and their beautiful landscapes, speciality boutiques, fine restaurants, art galleries, and artist studios as well. Then in Petite Nation, between Gatineau, Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, you can also explore the area in 1,001 ways. So whether you're touring a wildlife park with your family or you're visiting the world's largest log cabin, every trip is sure to be memorable. In Petite Nation, you also have a village called Montebello, which enchants its visitors with its fascinating history, picturesque landscapes, and gourmet stops as well. And it's here that you can discover Park Omega, which is a drive through a safari park, and you can also have the option to sleep with wolves and bears. And it's now just added 13 new suites in September 2023 as well. There's also no lack of entertainment either in Outaouais, so fireworks, hot air balloons, concerts, ice sculptures. We have a vast array of events and festivals that take place all year round, so please do check the website so that you can see what's going on and when. So when we think of vibrant cities, we naturally think of Montreal. So it's considered the cosmopolitan capital of Quebec, and it is the largest French-speaking city in North America. So Montreal is a major metropole that is made up of several small neighbourhoods, such as Little Italy, which have their own unique atmosphere, architecture, and diversity. So Montreal has a mix of its old world heritage and modern skyscrapers. So Montreal is renowned for its energy and its joie de vivre. So parks are bound from Memorial Park to Parc des Îles, which is home of the Canadian Grand Prix, and festivals such as the world-famous Montreal International Jazz Festival. It's a Canada signature experience, and it livens up the city in July. So Montreal alone hosts 75 outstanding festivals and cultural events all year round. So please do make sure to check out visitmontreal.com to see what's going on when your travellers are visiting. Then within the city, we have Quartier des Spectacles, and it's the entertainment district where 1 kilometre of 80 venues are dedicated to entertainment alone. So other popular must-see spaces include Old Montreal and the Old Port, which boasts French, Indigenous and British heritage. And you can also find here art galleries, handicraft shops and boutiques. You can enjoy restaurants, cafes along the streets that date back to the days of New France. And you'll also see in the summer months, the Old Port is home to Cirque du Soleil every year as well. From the north to the south of Montreal is only 4 kilometres, so it also makes the city perfectly walkable. Montreal also has its own attraction passport called the MTL passport, which you can find on Montreal's website, and it's great for customers who want to get the most out of their visit as well. So just moving on to Quebec City. So from Montreal to Quebec City is just less than an hour's flight away, or travellers can take the scenic Via Rail, which will take them around 3 hours. So now Quebec City is the cradle of French civilization in North America. So Old Quebec is one of only 2 fortified cities in North America. And again, like I said, it's a UNESCO World Heritage City, which will be sure to charm you with its old European and modern setting. So a walk through the streets is like a walk back in time. So festivals here, you've got the celebration of French-Canadian heritage, Les Fêtes de la Nouvelle France, and the Quebec Winter Carnival as well, which again are both signature experiences and events not to be missed. So in Quebec City, we also have a summer festival every year in the Plains of Abraham, and it's Canada's largest outdoor music event with over 300 shows over 11 days, and this event is usually in early July. So Quebec City is also home to the Chateau Frontenac, the world's most photographed hotel with or without a filter. And Chateau Frontenac is an absolute must-see. It's part of the Fairmont Group and it overlooks the St. Lawrence River. So the building first opened in 1893 with 170 hotel rooms. And for over 200 years, many famous people have made the Chateau Frontenac their residence during their time in Quebec City. Today, it's undergone a multi-million dollar refurbishment and repositions itself as one of the world's leading hotels. Another hotspot is Palais Royal, where here you'll find a mix of French, British, Indigenous, and North American influences. So within Old Quebec, it can be discovered by strolling through its cobblestone streets. It's a historic area, but it's not outdated. So you can shop there, you can take gourmet breaks. It's perfectly romantic in the winter, but it's also just as great to visit in the summer as well. So it was here that the city was first founded, and through the images you might also recognise the area, as Palais Royal is really famous for filmmakers' backdrops. So from here you can go from the lower town to the upper town by climbing the Casse Coast staircase or the funicular connected to the Dufferin Terrace, where the Chateau Frontenac overlooks the lovely St. Lawrence River. Other hotspots not to miss include a visit to Hotel de Glace, which is only 20 minutes from the city. It's unique of its kind in North America and consists of 2,300 blocks of ice and 15,000 tons of snow. So even if you don't spend the night there, you can visit the hall, the chapel, the slide, and the rooms. Wow, every year with its impressive carvings and colourful lighting, along with a new theme every year. Another must-see is the Montmorency Falls. It's a stunning waterfall. It's just 30 minutes drive from the heart of Quebec City. It's 30 metres taller than Niagara Falls, so you can get an idea of just how tall it is. So by car or public transport, the excursion is well worth it. All the viewpoints of the falls are photogenic, from the suspension bridge to the panoramic staircase of 487 steps. You can also enjoy the zip line over a distance of 300 metres or in a gondola of the cable car, which starts from its base. Oh, too far. Oh, sorry. So, as mentioned as well, our Indigenous nations are also a very fundamental part of our culture. So, from Wendake near Quebec City to Nunavik in northern Quebec, you will also discover traditions in Quebec and knowledge that has been handed down from generation to generation. So, through their culture, their gastronomy, their spirituality, and their great respect for nature as well. So in Wendake, we have the Huron-Wendat Museum, which is an institution created to preserve the heritage of the Wendat people and to promote its history and its culture. So as well as the arts of the First Nations. So it's here that you can learn how the communities lived and also stay in the neighbouring hotel for late night ancient stories around the fire. Nearby, newly opened is the Onwa Luminar attraction, which opened earlier this year. So it's a luminous, immersive multimedia journey in nature, which is inspired by the Wendat myths and cultural symbols that will transport visitors into a magical universe that combines nature and technology, with its rich history of the Huron-Wendat nation as a backdrop. So in Quebec, there are actually 11 Indigenous nations within the province. Each are entirely distinct, and learning about them involves discovering cultural identities that are vibrant, stimulating, and full of life as well. So native skills and knowledge are what allowed the first Europeans to survive and adapt to Quebec's harsh climate when they arrived nearly 500 years ago. So these traditions have also been passed down by First Nation people from generation to generation, and today they are really proud to share their culture, their cooking, their spirituality, and profound respect for nature. So from here, I'll just take you through to our outdoors. We've touched on the cities, but our nature offers 1,001 outdoor activities, particularly in our surrounding regions. Through summer and winter, Quebec is a huge playground. So that's on land, on the water, and in the air as well. So starting with the Laurentians, it's another region of ours. It's only a 2-hour drive from Montreal, so you have many breathtaking mountains, which are surrounded by lakes and lake houses as well. So the Laurentians are made up of smaller villages, and again, come summer or winter, they're always worth a visit. So during the warmer months, visitors can also enjoy a vertical challenge by ziplining over the forest. And come winter, you can also rent a snowmobile or enjoy skiing down one of the many mountains, which are packed with plenty of ski lifts. So our mountains also vary in heights. They're perfect for families or maybe even those that aren't as daring on the slopes. Mont Tremblant is also here in the Laurentians, and it's a hugely popular for skiing in the winter with quaint shops, restaurants, and of course the Fairmont Hotel as well, which features an outdoor heated swimming pool. So more towards Quebec City, you have Charlevoix, where you can fat bike in the colder months. In the warmer months, you can visit vineyards, you can check out the new Club Med, which has recently opened, you can visit cheese and wine farms and so much more as well. So from Quebec City, you can catch a train to Lamalbe, and it's also possible for even travellers to visit, even if they're not self-driving. So the Saguenay Ford is also an attraction in itself, and it's a spectacular glacial valley which is now occupied by the majestic Saguenay River. There are also so many ways to enjoy its magnificent banks and its dizzying cliffs as well. So you've got hiking, sea kayaking, sightseeing, cruising, sailing, you name it. So the Ford is also home to a number of charming villages as well, which are literally just waiting to be discovered. For cyclists, Quebec is home to North America's longest cycling network, so La Route Verte, which spans over 5,300 kilometres. So including the region's other bike paths, there are about 12,000 kilometres of cycling routes across the province. Okay. So nearly 650 animal species, including 90 species of mammals and 300 of birds, live in Quebec. So it's a refuge or from their natural habitat. It's not uncommon to come face to face with our migratory birds, our white-tailed deer, our moose, our caribou, our beavers, or our marine animals either. So every year in late February or early March, tens of thousands of harp seals make their way to the ice surrounding Ile de Madeleines to give birth to their pups. So travellers can take part in a seal watching excursion to see them up close, which is a unique and really exhilarating experience as well. So black bears can also be found in nearly every corner of the maritime regions of Quebec, and this is the best way to observe bears in complete safety and to take part in an organised bear watching activity. We're also very well known for our amazing whale watching in the autumn in Gaspésie and Tadoussac on the St. Lawrence River, and there are also plenty of whale watching cruises that your clients can book with. So from here, I'm just going to speak about how you can get to Quebec. And Quebec is only actually a 7.5 hour flight from the UK, and we have several airline carriers that fly to Quebec directly. So from May through to September, we have a direct service from London Gatwick to Quebec City with Air Transat. And then throughout the year, we also have services from London Gatwick and Heathrow direct to Montreal with British Airways, Air Transat, and Air Canada. So frequencies can change slightly during the winter, but they are often daily or double daily throughout the summer. So just some things before you travel to Quebec. In Quebec, we say bonjour to a promise. So by choosing Quebec, you're guaranteed a safe destination. We have privileged access to magnificent regions, opportunities to create new memories through authentic, welcoming and surprising encounters. And it's time to unwind and just find as much inspiration in nature as you can in the city. So just some things to keep in mind before you travel to Quebec. The documentation that you need is obviously a passport and a valid ETA as well, which you can find on Canada's government website. The currency in Quebec, they use Canadian dollars, so it's currently approximately £1 for every 1.7 Canadian dollars. In Quebec, we have sales taxes, so that's around 15%. Tips are between 15 and 20% in restaurants and bars. The language, we have a multilingual language in Quebec, but it is predominantly French speaking, although English is widely understood and spoken as well. The time difference in Quebec is 5 hours behind the UK. We have two time zones, Eastern Daylight Time between March and November and Eastern Standard Time from November to March, so it's much like ours. And then in terms of electricity, Quebec uses US plug points, so that's plug A and plug B. So just finally, we have a great variety of different itineraries already available through B2B tour operators. And I'd say that if the traveller only has, around a week to see Quebec, to consider, Montreal, Quebec City, where travellers can also fly into Montreal and out via Quebec City. If travellers have longer to explore Quebec, to definitely consider a 12-day self-drive tour through Montreal, Quebec City, Saguenay, Charlevoix, and Maurice. And also just to take a watch at our virtual masterclass for some inspiration as well. For even more itinerary suggestions, please do take a look at our website, bonjourquebec.com, where under the Explore tab you can find more than 43 different itineraries and tourist routes, from short stays of 1 to 3 days or longer stays of 9 days plus as well. So that wraps it up for me today. But if you would like to learn more about all of our regions, what's new in the region, seasonality, and more, please do also visit our training platform where you can find short 10-minute training sessions, all of which are designed to help you learn more about Quebec. And very finally, please don't forget that Quebec also makes a great twin centre with other Canadian provinces, particularly Ontario and Nova Scotia as well. So thank you all for listening. Okay, I think we have a question here. I'm just checking if we've got any questions. I think we've got one from Marina. Would we be allowed to share the virtual file with clients? Yeah, absolutely. We can see if we can get our hands on the actual file if that's what you mean, and we can get that sent out and so they can see maybe the tour for themselves, and then we can help you book that then if that's how you mean. And then okay, perfect. And I think Sarah just asked as well, what's the website for Montreal? Which she's found the website. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant. And Debbie, yes, definitely looks like it's a great place to visit. So much going on in Quebec. Brilliant. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And if you do have any questions, please do reach out to me on my email, or you can also get in touch with us on the platform as well. Thank you very much. See you soon.